you fast forward what a difference a year makes. You go into last year, not a lot of experience. Now you got experience in that front line, and even some of the guys that are on paper or were reserves last year have some experience under their belts, like Jaylen Kelly-Powell. I mentioned him because that was a guy that Jim talked about at Big Ten Media Days, a guy that really took some steps in spring ball.
Yeah, he did. Jaylen is a guy who's got a very bright mind, and when you got a guy that's in a backup role, he was behind Josh and Tyree, and you want him to do as much as you can, right? And as a freshman, we asked him to do a lot more so than you would. He was playing nickel, he was playing rover, he would play free. He can kind of be a utility guy back there in case something happens in a game. And now, that hurts a freshman sometimes. You don't get great at one thing, but for the team, you need a guy that's able to do that. And to put it on a young guy like that, sometimes it hurts them a little bit in terms of their growth. Well, now Jaylen understands it, right? Now he can do it. He knows, okay, well, I can back up the rover, I can back up the free, I can play nickel. I'm comfortable in doing it all. So he's just improving his craft, he's getting better and better. And he put on some weight. He put on about 10 pounds, which is something he needed to do as well. And he had a heck of a spring. He'll get in there and he'll get in the mix in camp right away. He'll rotate in with those ones on both spots and be able to, all three spots really, and be able to make an impact, I feel.
So that's kind of where you guys have kind of positioned him now. No more repping at corner. It's just both safety spots and nickel.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's what he's kind of found his home there. And again, the weight was big with that because he was a corner and he was fine to play a corner, but he's better suited to be inside, and so we had to put on that weight on him, but the strength program took care of that real easy.
So what is it, about 190 now for him? Is that kind of like the goal weight?
Yeah, it depends on your body and everything. It's different from every guy, but he'll play in between 185 and 190, which is perfect for him.
Gotcha. All right. So what about Jamaric? How does he kind of slot in there? I think he was mostly at the free. Is that still where he's at?
Yep, he's competing at the free safety spot. He's a year older and a year wiser and everything, and so he's a guy who played in the bowl game, started in the bowl game, had an up and down game. Wasn't as consistent as he wanted to be, but also wasn't horrible. Just had some things to improve. But he's a guy who had a really good spring as well. And we just got to get him really being consistent all the time. When he gets to be 100% consistent in terms of understanding formations, moving to the ball, his footwork, everything like that, he's going to be a force to reckon with.
Gotcha. Now, a guy that comes from your old stomping grounds, he came in as a receiver. Then he switches over and he plays safety. Then you guys move him to Viper. Yeah. Then it was back to safety. What about Brad Hawkins? Where does he land now?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So Brad, actually, he got banged up in spring. He practiced the first 4 practices, and then he missed. He only came back for the last 4, so he missed a good chunk, and he graded out the best in those last 4 practices at the safety position.
Wait. So when you say the best, what do you mean? The best out of all the guys?
In 4 practices, he was the best guy. Yes, he was the best. In those 4. I'm not saying overall, right? And when he came back, and that just shows how much he's matured. Brad, I've known Brad for a long time, and I'm proud of how well he's matured and grown up. And he's just learned how to approach the game. And what I mean by that is meetings, is asking questions. I mean, he's texting me all July, different stuff, he's really hungry, and he's grown up, and now he understands how he needs to play it. And he came back, and for a guy to miss 6, 7 practices and come back and be that good, it means he was in tune. It means in the meetings he was writing stuff down, he was understanding. It means in practice when he was standing there, he was doing his rehab, but he was paying attention. Because we install a lot of stuff. Well, he didn't miss a beat. He came in and did a heck of a job. So I'm just like, what's the next step for him right now? So in camp, I'm just waiting to see him. Like,
wow,
he's exciting.
So which safety spot, or is he doing both? Which one are you?
So that's another thing. So Brad moved from receiver to Viper, played the free in the spring. We're going to put him at the rover spot. Mm-hmm. It's just better suited for him, I think, where he can really take off, and he'll be, competing with Josh there.